So week 2 is in the bag. How did I do? Let's find out. First, let's get the numbers out of the way. For weight, I started off at 209.8 pounds. By the end of week 1, I lost 9 pounds, ended up at 200.8 pounds. And by the end of week 2, I was at 198.2 pounds, which is a loss of 2.6 pounds. 2 measurements that I'm tracking. First one, my gut, which is around my belly button area. I started out at 42.5 inches. By the end of week 1, I was at 40 inches. By the end of week 2, I'm now at 37.5 inches. So I'm very happy about that. The second is my belt line, which I started out at 41 inches. By the end of week 1, I was at 39 inches, and I'm still at 39 at the end of week 2. My activities for the week consisted of running on the treadmill. I had 4 days where I ran 2 miles on the treadmill, and 1 day where I ran 5 miles and walked 0.9 miles for a warm up and cool down. Just got back from Kroger's and got me a smashed egg. Really wanted to pick up some of these ribeyes. They don't seem too big, but they're like 10 ounces. So we got 4 of those, some chops, some sirloins, 2 sirloins. These are the 8 ounce. They're thick. These are kind of thick too. They kind of expand too when you get them out of the packaging. Some butter, but bummed out about that broken egg. My meals mostly consisted of ground beef, but I'll break it down. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the following Monday, I had ground beef and eggs cooked in butter with plenty of salt, but the quantity varied day to day. So it seemed like one day I would eat more, which would be 2 meals a day. I'd have my first meal would be a ½ pound of beef with about 2 to 3 eggs with butter and salt. And then I'd have an extra meal, which would be a pound of ground beef with 3 to 4 eggs and plenty of salt and butter. And then it seemed like the other day, like the day after that, every other day, I would eat like a light meal. It'd be 1 meal a day, which would be a pound of ground beef with about 2 to 3 eggs with salt and butter. But I did mix it up. Every Friday I've been having salmon, and this Friday actually had chicken for the first time. It was 7 chicken legs, and that was for dinner. But for lunch that day, I did have a ½ pound of ground beef with 2 eggs with salt and butter. Friday, I was more full than I've been since I started this diet. Saturday, I had a lunch, a ribeye with 2 eggs, and then later I had a ½ pound of ground beef with 3 eggs, cooked in butter, salt. And Sunday I cooked a sirloin steak, had 3 eggs, and also ate 3 hard-boiled eggs later on in that day. I did have some stomach pain that day. I'm not sure what was going on, but it went away pretty quickly. I laid down for a little bit and it went away. It was after I ate the sirloin. So I have noticed a lot more people stopping by and subscribing, leaving comments. So to all those people, I'd like to say hello. My name is Tim. I'm in the videography, performing music, listening to music, running, playing video games, and most recently, the carnivore diet. If you want to talk about any of those topics, go ahead and leave a comment below. And speaking of comments, I did receive a few in the last video. After reading those comments, I realized I probably need to add a little more context of what's going on here. First of all, I'll clarify what my diet is right now. It's consisting of beef, eggs, butter, salt, only salt for seasoning, and sometimes chicken, and once a week, salmon. Water only. I'm trying to drink over 100 fluid ounces, as much water as I can a day, but I'm usually getting around over 100 fluid ounces a day, and over 33 ounces of that, I add the electrolytes that I've shown in my previous video. So my goals for this diet are: 1, hopefully clear up some inflammation. I've had some pain in my back and my neck, probably from poor posture, sitting at a desk all day, and also I've had a few automobile accidents in years past. Number 2, lose fat, especially around my gut, my beer gut. Number 3 is to train my body to use fat as a fuel more efficiently, and I'm hoping that will help out with my workouts, especially running. And now for some updates on how I'm feeling for week 2. The big news is I can sleep very well now. Sleep is way better than it was week 1. I'm able to get to sleep faster and stay asleep, so that is great. I am tired when I wake up in the morning, but it does seem to shake off a little faster than it used to, so there's a benefit. My head is a little clearer, but still not completely sharp. I do feel like I'm reacting to things a little faster. I'm not sure how much of this to attribute to the diet or just to eating cleaner, like not a bunch of junk food and beer, because I know I've drank plenty of beer in December, so I'm going from a pretty bad diet into this one. So we'll see as it continues if things improve better than they have been for years past, I guess. I don't know what to compare it to, so I'm still working that out. I noticed I do feel very full all the time, and actually it's almost a struggle sometimes to get a meal in, but I definitely want to keep even kind of forcing the food down just to make sure I get a lot and not eating too little. I do worry about eating too little and not having energy. Initially, the plan was to do 30 days on the carnivore diet for January, but now I'm thinking I'm going to extend that. A lot of people have told me to do 90 days. I don't know if I could make it the whole 90 days without adding some things like coffee and possibly some cheese to add some variety. I was a heavy coffee drinker prior to starting this diet, and it's been pretty rough not having the coffee. But I mean, if I kick it for a month, I should probably just kick it completely, but I like coffee. I do. I really do. It brings enjoyment, happiness to my life. So another thing, my wife's birthday is coming up. It's February, beginning of February, and we want to do some things, possibly a cheat day, and I'm concerned if we do something like eat a pizza that I'm gonna feel like I did week 1 of this diet, and that's something that worries me because I don't really want to feel like that. But we also talked about just getting like a meat and cheese tray, getting coffee that day, doing something light and kind of sticking to it just a little dirty. Or we might just roll around in the mud and get the pizza. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. We haven't decided yet. We're going to see how we feel at the end of the month and probably make the decision from that. Pretty much wraps up my thoughts about week 2. Once again, thank you to everybody that stopped by, watched the video, has liked and subscribed and left comments. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and introduce yourself in the comments. And that's all for now. Hope you guys are doing well. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
They may haunt my days, but they don't haunt my dreams. I'm all bottled up, but bursting at the seams. I'm bad at hellos, but even worse at goodbyes. If you ask how I am, then I'll be telling you lies.